The Kate Daly Show starts now.
Are you or a loved one suffering from a medical coincidence? You want proper medical care, but you don't want people sniffing around asking a whole bunch of questions about what might be causing your problem. At the Kaufman Institute for Coincidence, we won't look into the cause of your heart or other problem. We'll just fix it. That's right. We promise to only look at your symptoms. We won't get all curious looking for causes because...
Vaccine passport? I'm going to need an allergy test. Lyme disease, chickenpox, H1N1, rabies tag, H1N2. All right, proof of the herpes vaccine. And what about the herpes booster?
I literally got it like 10 minutes ago.
Let's see it. All right, hand, foot, and mouth disease, H1N5, prostate exam, whooping cough. I'm going to need your Netflix password. HPV.
I actually have HPV.
I need proof to show solidarity to the HPV community. I'm going to need to see your Blockbuster card. Tetanus. Negative test for the Black Plague. Tetanus booster.
I don't have it.
I'll give it to you now. Proof of political party. Proof of diversity.
To detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI. Oh, II. Sorry.
World War XI. Thanks, Omar. Could anyone be more ridiculous? Could anyone be more pathetic than Omar? Well, I can think of a few. Don't even challenge me. Welcome to the show. And of course, it's Wednesday. I've had a stomach bug, so Melissa is going to do most of the talking today. And I had a show prepared on the press room shooting. I'll do that tomorrow. You guys realize it's all fake. I hope. Should I not say that? It was so fake that I was just like almost shocked that people actually believed it. But tomorrow I'll talk more about the details of that and I'll point out how and why. And you know, it's tough because the faker it gets, the more trolling of my fellow conservative hosts. It's really weird, but I have fellow conservative hosts that are just going out and just being like, you're trash if you question this. And I'm just shocked at that. So I'm so surprised at that, but okay. But I think it's easier to see who's on what team. So I'll leave it at that until tomorrow. But I do have a lot of things to say about tomorrow for sure. So apologize about yesterday. I will be on tomorrow. And obviously we're live today. So Melissa joins me. Midwest Melissa, how are you?
I am good.
Good.
I did my stint with the bug a while back.
Did you?
So I'm good today.
Yeah,
it's your turn now.
Well, I spent a few days in California, and I had to go back to California for a couple of days, and I came home with this stomach bug, so I'm not quite sure why or how or what happened, but wow. So apologies. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to do a full week this week, but whatever. Anyway, here we are. Life is life. So we have a lot to talk about. I just did want to get your initial thoughts on the White House shooting thing. Did you want to comment at all?
At the point now in my life where I didn't even hear about it for 24 hours.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. When I tell people that I kind of sometimes just check out of the news cycle, I really mean it.
Well,
I don't think I think I had to go looking for it. So having seen it now, I've seen the video of it. There's a lot of things that are just kind of strange.
Wonky.
Yeah, the fact that they pulled Vance out faster than Trump was odd.
that was strange.
McCurk
I know.
Being weird as ever. Was odd.
And they made sure she hit the reels for the camera footage coming out. So that was, and when she left crying in tears, of course, crying and saying, just get me out of here. I mean, they made sure that she got newsreel. So action. So that was.
Well, yeah, there's just.
Got seen.
At a certain point, I am rapidly approaching the point in my life where I just don't care anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's. I'm sorry,
if it's
but
real, if
yeah.
it's not, what am I going to do about it?
No one's going to get in with knives. What was he going to do? Knife everybody? I mean, without getting, I mean, I'm sorry. The whole thing was just so fake. And so you saw all these conservative hosts just like shaming people for asking questions. And whenever you see that, you should always be asking even more questions. Because I think it's getting way more obvious. But I think a lot of people are going to have a problem with us saying that. It seems like unity among our own conservative base is extremely like in the corner of, yes, there was a threat, and luckily the Secret Service was there. The same Secret Service from Butler, Pennsylvania, was there to curb it. I'm just
Well, I mean,
okay.
there's always a threat. When the president is anywhere, there's a threat.
Mm.
Like
It was-
Lincoln was at the theater and there was a
Mhm.
threat. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
there's always going to be a threat wherever the president goes.
yeah. It
So,
was definitely interesting.
I'm-
so
I'm not quite sure if you watch the footage of him, the
mhm.
the shooter running down the hallway. He doesn't even make the turn into the ballroom. Like, where was he going?
There's no way. I'm sorry. They know everything that's going on in that room. There's no way. I'll talk about it tomorrow. I know we weren't prepared to talk about it, but I will, I have some things to point out tomorrow that are just ludicrous about it, that make people understand that it's so fakeroo, and they're getting faker and faker with stuff. And I just hope people are noticing that. So,
Well, I did bump into an article that said that
Mhm.
essentially Trump's work is done and he's expendable now. So who
hmm.
knows? That was kind of an interesting take on the whole
I
thing.
think they're
too.
setting up an assassination, and they're gonna blame it on certain people. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. The whole thing, our presidency is not, it's all theater. And if that didn't show everybody how much theater is involved, I don't know what, I don't know. There's just some
it
instances.
did not, Kate. I
You
mean,
don't?
nobody. You think it's theater.
Oh,
Maybe I
totally.
think it's theater. I mean, I just don't care anymore.
I just don't care anymore.
I think a lot of people do not think it's theater.
Yeah.
I think a
well,
lot of people do not.
mm,
And you know, it's just so fun. I am beginning. Maybe I'm just going through this phase where I'm beginning to be amused by some of the things that people have put out there. One of them was
mhm.
the guy that there's an ex post from like a couple years ago that has this guy's name in it. Like,
Mhm.
why is that?
Right.
Maybe this has to do with aliens. You know,
Yeah.
who knows? It's just entertainment, which I suppose in that regard, it is
Yeah.
just theater for me.
Yes.
It's entertainment now. Like, who's going to say the
Mhm.
weirdest thing about it?
I know. This guy gets on YouTube, and this is the comment he makes. Trump is a fascist traitor. Dude, you're so brainwashed. Look,
that's
it
such
isn't
a
about
trope
Trump.
anymore.
It's annoying. And I know there's a lot of these bots. This is probably some weird ass bot that's on here saying
one of my
this, but
favorite
it's not about
hot
Trump.
take news pieces recently was that the same people who
Mhm.
refused to stand up for children dying of cancer in the State of the Union address
Uh-huh.
and who were supporting the No Kings protest literally stood in the chamber yesterday
Yeah.
and applauded an actual king for 3 minutes.
I know. I mean, you can't script it any better. You can't script it any better. It's pretty bad. So yes, I know. There's a lot of people that are told what to clap for and what to think about, and the brainwashing is real, my friends. So what do we do? What do we do to combat this? Except bring reality as much as we possibly can. It's not about Trump. He's not a fascist traitor. It's the whole thing. It's the whole kit and caboodle. If you can't see it, please start taking a really keen eye approach to what's happening. These are the people that still believe in the wrestling match as real. Okay, take your eyes, go way above, and then really look at everything happening, and you'll see it in a whole new light, my friend. Trump isn't a fascist traitor. It's just that the presidency is bought. So we've said this so many times. I don't want to bore people. So look, here we are. And it's almost the end of April. And if you've never helped free speech, help this show stay on the air. That's all I can say to you right now is please help out. And if you can, and I know it sounds crazy. It's just it's very, very tough to tell the truth these days and stay on the air and do what we need to do that. So please go to katedalleyradio.com, donate in any way that you possibly can. And I hope to keep telling the truth about everything. And it isn't easy because in this climate, there's most of it's bought and paid for media. So I would really appreciate it. And the only reason I'm here today is because I did triple doses today and yesterday of Cardio Miracle. So it's the only reason I'm here. So cardiomiracle.com/Kate, go get the stuff, go drink it. I'm not joking you. It is 20 times the fruits and vegetables of any other product. You need the nutrients and you need the vitamins and minerals that this delivers. It's the best delivery system for vitamin D. Please, please, please go get Cardio Miracle and try it out. There's a money back guarantee, so you can't lose. It is amazing. And it's the only reason I'm here today, because I really didn't know if I was going to make it today. And I'm here because I'm running on the power of Cardio Miracle today. Seriously. It's an amazing, amazing product with nutrients. All right, Melissa, where do we start?
Okay, let's start with I don't mean to make you sicker, but
Thanks.
Let's start with Sam Altman, who is the CEO of OpenAI.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And he has a new organization called World ID that's being pushed out. It's not all that new, actually. It's been around for a while. It's just gaining traction.
Mm-hmm.
So according to World ID, what it is it's a biometric ID project.
Mm-hmm.
Where they have these little standalone devices they call orbs.
Mm-hmm.
They're little round, they look like an eyeball, actually. They're these little round things that have a camera in the front of them, and they do a retinal scan.
Okay.
And that creates a unique biometric identifier for you.
Yeah.
They are claiming right now that they have 18 million people in 160 countries around the world have already submitted to their iris scans using their little Orbi things that they have.
Mm-hmm.
What the reason that we need to talk about this here is that around the world over the last couple of years, a whole boatload of countries have stopped World ID's ability to continue operations in their country.
Okay.
We can take a look at who that is that's done that. This was originally founded as a digital identity system that would link to your cryptocurrency. But now it's, these things always evolve. So this has now departed from the world of cryptos. And now it's just a digital ID system that they're claiming is unbreakable.
Okay.
Which I don't, Edward Snowden doesn't seem to think it's unbreakable. And Edward Snowden has sent up the alarm on it and saying, hey, this is not maybe as great as everybody thinks.
Right.
So the countries that are complaining about it, mostly they're coming from Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Here in the United States, we just say tech, we love it, bring it on, we want more, right?
Right.
But they've been accused of deceptive marketing practices, including, and this is no big surprise from Sam Altman, that they're gathering personal data beyond the iris scan that includes heartbeat, breathing, and other vital signs. They're taking vital signs while you're standing there having your iris scanned. They're also listening to your heartbeat, your breathing rate. Why? I don't know why. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Anyway, some of the countries, in some of these countries, they offered $50. Remember you get a donut if you get a COVID vax? So some of these places, they've given people $50 if they would come in and do their iris scan. So places like Kenya have said, wait a minute, we have legislation that says you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to financially incentivize people in that way with their private information.
Right.
So Kenya has said, okay, we're cutting that off.
Yeah, it's pretty
Spanish
Minority Report.
in-
Go ahead.
In Spain, they've regulated it by saying, hey, wait a minute, we never told you could take minors' information. So underage children are being iris scanned. Argentina has said that World AI has abusive clauses in its contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Hong Kong has said there is unnecessary and excessive data collection.
Mm-hmm.
Germany asked World AI to delete
Mm-hmm.
the data they were gathering that did not align with what the EU said was legal for them to gather.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil has banned them. Indonesia has banned them. The Philippines, Thailand has all banned them,
Mm-hmm.
but not here in the US.
Okay.
And we might consider, like, why do we continue to embrace things that the rest of the world says, no, this is not good for us?
Right.
Anyway, just within April 17th, which is just last week, World ID announced that they have planned integrations with Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
with DocuSign. The next one's interesting, with Tinder. And they have a thing that they're calling the Concert Kit. So let's start at the top. Zoom wants to include deep face verification. So that proves that you are a human and not a bot
Okay.
if you're on Zoom.
Okay.
But you would need to do this retinal scan, this iris scan thing.
Mm-hmm.
DocuSign wants a World AI for the signing of all legal documents. That could be fun, huh? Tinder, I
Mm-hmm.
think Tinder is hilarious. They want to make sure that you're an actual person with a Tinder profile and not a fake that's a fraud and a romance scam.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, give up all
Yeah.
your personal private data to Tinder. That sounds like a great plan.
I think many people are, sadly, but yes, in a
So,
in a desperate
the
attempt.
The last one is called Concert Kit,
Okay.
and they're selling these to musicians who say if you do this scan,
Mm-hmm.
you get a preferred ticketing package,
Yeah.
so that they're trying to prevent scammers with tickets or people that
Yes, because
you know,
that's our biggest
concert-
worry.
yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, it
fascinating.
just gets so
so-
bizarre.
What has me bothered about this
Mm-hmm.
is the whole it's setting up a two-tier system, and the people that are commenting about this
Uh-huh.
are saying, okay, once you give over all your data, you are being offered a package like, we're going to give you preferential treatment, you'll get better concert tickets, or you can get, look at all these
Mhm.
things that you can do. Your digital banking is so much easier with World AI, but what are you trading for that?
Yeah.
Now we all know that Trump is pushing right now a thing so that you have to prove your citizenship in order to do certain types of banking now, right? They want to see your passport. They don't, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The IRS just did a pass through our house asking for information that they didn't need in order to give
Mhm.
us our tax rebate. Not me in particular. Sadly, I had to pay, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, why is the IRS asking for more digital data than they need?
Well,
So read the tea leaves here.
yeah. And I think we've actually talked about those tea leaves to a certain extent.
Well, of course.
In so many ways. I mean, it's funny because it's such a slow, slippery slope. Like it's slow. We're in the pot of proverbial hot water. And people just can't understand that this is the problem that we're in right now. Like they keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it.
The problems are real. Like, is ticket scalping a real problem?
Not, I mean, who
It is a
cares? Like
real
I
problem.
guess for those getting tickets, it's funny because it's not the biggest not the biggest problem we have right now, but I think it's funny that they kind of make it about stuff like that. Like in Tinder, if you go on Tinder, you get what you get. So if
Correct.
but
I'm much more concerned
Mhm.
about the DocuSign requirement
yeah,
because that
yeah.
that will impact contracts and legal documents of all kinds.
Right.
And what kind of two-tiered system will be developed? Like, oh, we can give you certain perks if we have all of your digital ID data. It's just like, we're going to sell you
Yeah.
an airplane ticket that's a
Mhm.
better ticket if you have this. If you don't, you sit in the back of the plane if we
Mhm.
have room for you. So
Yeah.
it's making a two-tiered system
Yeah.
of
Well-
participation in everything.
Are those scans, will they be used for entry into a grocery store? You can't really go get groceries unless you meet the scan, so that we know who
Well,
you
yeah,
are,
not
because
yet.
so many hackers and weirdos could get in here, right? It's all for your safety, and then exclude those that aren't part of the system. So
Well, we're trying to keep prices down in our
Yeah.
grocery store, and we can't have any more people stealing off the shelves.
Right. There's always an
So-
excuse for safety or for fear or, they're going to go catch the bad guys, and they're using so much AI to catch the bad guy, hoping that no one will care about the methods they're using. So then they prop it up and market it in all the news articles to say, but look, we got a bad guy. Don't look at how we did it. Just look, we got a bad guy. So,
But before we kind of leave the topic, I want to talk about that heartbeat thing. 'Cause
okay.
when I read that, I'm like, oh, heartbeat. Why would they care about your heartbeat?
Yeah.
If the iris scan it's like taking a fingerprint, right? It's a
Mhm.
unique identifier.
Yeah.
Then why, if they're going to take my thumbprint, why do they have to have my blood pressure and my heartbeat and my brain scan too?
Right.
How do those things fit in? And as I was thinking about that, literally, it was like one of those light bulb moments, and a ding.
Yeah.
You remember not too long ago, we were told that the downed pilot in Iran was
Mhm.
rescued by them using something called a ghost murmur,
Mm-hmm.
which was supposedly this
murmur.
futuristic CIA new technology
Mm-hmm.
that could detect a heartbeat at these incredible distances out in the desert. They found him from 40 miles away
Mm-hmm.
because of his heartbeat.
Right.
So is that connected to this? Is
Mhm.
that why they need a heartbeat?
Yeah.
Because, and somebody, who was it that said it? I can't think of who it was. It was one of the military people after that rescue said, yeah, in the right conditions, if your heart is beating, we will find you. That should be chilling to all of us.
It
now,
should be.
in the particular circumstance they were using it in,
Mhm.
we're glad they could find the guy, right?
Yeah.
But
Amazing.
do we really want the government to be able to find any one of us individually at any time they choose?
No, I would think not.
You know,
Said anyone with an actual heartbeat. So
anyone with, well, it gets more complicated as everything does, because supposedly they're using what they call quantum magnetometers and AI. And so a group of physicists who work with cardiac scans and heartbeat scans and all this stuff
Mhm.
in a completely different way. These are people who are trying to pioneer innovative and novel medical cardiac stuff. But these guys have said, wait, your heart's magnetic imprint is very
Mhm.
weak.
Mhm.
He said, at the surface of the chest, when you're 10 centimeters away from the person's heart,
Mhm.
it's just barely visible.
Yeah.
10 centimeters. He goes,
Mhm.
if you go a meter away, that signal has dropped 1,000th of what it was. So these guys are saying, he said,
Yeah. That they have this
if
technology.
you're 40 miles away, number one, you have all this other noise clutter of the heartbeat of every other living thing that's in that 40-mile zone,
Mhm.
other people. And in the case of Iran, maybe it's sheep or goats or desert rats or
Mhm.
other people, whatever. You have all of that
Yeah.
clutter to filter out. How would they possibly be able to zoom in, even with AI, on one individual's heartbeat within 40 miles? These
Right.
physicists are saying that's just a big pack of lies, that they can't do that. And they're putting this disinformation out to have us all believe they can do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know which way it is.
It's funny. You have all of these avenues and we have all of these ways in which they're encroaching. And then you have a lot of AI today that is being masked, and people don't realize what they're seeing is AI. And then at the same time, you have all of these sort of like just straight up lies. And today, when I opened the news, I saw this and I was actually kind of surprised because I didn't think they would be this stupid to go this far. But they actually said that we have rabid rats now in southern Utah. And when they did this story, they actually used I'll pull up the I did the picture for everybody so they can see. They actually used this AI photo. This photo that you're seeing right here has been used for decades. And so it's the one weird, strange looking rat with teeth. I guess, I don't know. They're trying to show this as rabid rats have now invaded. So not only is there the encroachment you're talking about, Melissa, there's the straight up lies by our own health department here, but they lied about COVID the entire time. Then we called them out on it. So it didn't shock me that these guys are still lying. So they lie and they put up this picture in the mainstream news in my state that these rabid rats that they found the first one, and this picture's been used for decades. It's appeared in so many news stories. I know. It's like rabbit bat, sorry. So they're showing this and they're trying to, not rat bat. So they're trying to show this picture and they're trying to say that this is everywhere, right? This is going to be now the biggest news story of the summer. And it's such a joke. And I'm just hoping and praying that besides the encroachment, besides the lying AI, besides all of the things that we have to contend with, because now when you watch a video, you better know what you're watching. You better understand what you're watching, and you better fact check it, not at Snopes, because those are liberals hiding in a basement, but actually fact checking the pictures and fact checking the stuff that we see, because the stuff that we're shown is lies. And then of course you have the encroachment that is lies. And I love that you're pointing all these things out, because never before in all the 16 years I've been doing this have I seen so many ways in which they lie. It used to be just a story like this. They'd use a picture like this of this rabid bat and they'd put it up everywhere, and they'd try to tell you that this rat was everywhere and going to get us. And it's a complete and total sham. But it used to be just that. Now it's the encroaching. It's everything. And you don't know what you're even seeing anymore. That's the problem, is it's so confusing.
And that's always been the problem with AI. That
Yep.
we're
just getting more of it
farther
now.
and farther away.
Yeah.
Well, and to talk about these iris sensors,
Mm-hmm.
what is the name of the thing? It's World AI.
Yeah.
or World ID. What
Yes.
they are selling is unhackable.
Yes.
And somebody said, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's unhackable now, but
Mhm.
we've already talked about AI kind of jumping their fences too. What happens when your unique identifier does go missing and is affiliated with something that's not you?
Mm-hmm.
We have to think about what could possibly go wrong
Mhm.
before you give them a unique identifier to just you in the whole world that you lose control over.
Yeah. Right.
This isn't
Right.
like a fingerprint that lives at the police office,
Yeah.
the police department.
Yeah.
This is, and they're talking about using this as like a pass key. Maybe it's to get into your work. Maybe it's to buy gas for your car. Maybe
Yeah.
it's to get into the
Look,
grocery store. Maybe it's to have a bank account. Who knows what it's for?
I know. And if somebody wants to pay all my utility bills and they want to pay my credit and they
That's
want
not
to
even
they
what
want to get my
I'm
gas or they
worried
want to
about.
take groceries from me. Go right ahead. Okay. I'm not opposed. It's just so funny that we're all so afraid of the hacking and the reason that they have to come up with 5,000 besides giving a kidney, all these different things that you have to do to even just get into your bank account now. It's amazing
Well,
how much you have to verify
know,
who you are.
we're being sold the marvelous power of AI.
Yeah.
However, they're
Whatever.
not using AI to chase fraud,
Yeah.
deception, lies.
Mhm.
They're using it to surveil ordinary people just trying to
Yes.
live their lives.
Yes.
That's the wrong headedness of it.
Yes. Yes.
And you really need to read some of what Larry Ellison and Sam Altman, what are these guys actually saying and thinking about
Mhm.
humanity? It's Larry Ellison, I think, who says flat out he believes in tyranny. He believes that nobody, he wants a dictator.
Yes. Yes.
These people are hostile to humanity. Why
Mhm.
would we give them so much power? I don't care what China's doing. I don't want to say, well, the Chinese are going to beat us in the AI game.
Mhm.
So we have to do the same things here to keep up with them. I don't
Yes.
want to keep up with people who are like the
Yeah.
Chinese. I don't want
Right.
to be a Uyghur in America.
Yeah. Thanks. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. 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 Yes.
No, they're not using it.
Yes.
They're not using AI, like I said, to stop. You know what? They want something for AI to do. Can it please stop the stupid harassing fake calls trying to sell me car warranties? Can they stop that?
Yeah.
You'd
Seriously.
think they could, that AI could figure out how to stop that.
Mm.
Could they stop Nigerian scams?
Right.
There's a lot of things.
It's all about the money, says LB. I'm with you. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't, I'm not fearful about it. Like I said, I'm just beginning to kind of check out of some of this stuff and just like, I'm just
Mhm.
going to live my life and
Right.
whatever happens is going to be what it is. But
Yeah.
I
Doc-
do think we should be aware.
Mhm.
Some of this stuff too. This is why we have to have data centers. I'll cover every square inch of everywhere
Right.
because there's just not enough. When we give them all of our data, how will they
Mhm.
ever track all of us?
Right. Well, they have ways. They're going to do it even more so than they do it now. There's no doubt in my mind. In fact, Dr. Marks on YouTube says they've been doing this for 40 years. The iris scans, the biometric scanning, and it's. I think it's just coming more in the forefront now. And of course, they have to breed some necessity for it, and they do. Like they come up with some kind of shammy reason and it's like the White House press shooting, and of course there's a ballroom to be built, right? And but I don't think it's a ballroom. I'll give you that little teaser for tomorrow. But it's just there's always a reason, and it has nothing to do with what's actually going on.
Well, if I thought, iris scans
Mm-hmm.
are one thing. If you're getting entry into a top level secured, the nuclear bunkers.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is all being packaged up with is we want your iris scan so that you can have a bank account.
Yeah.
This is not I'm James Bond and I need access to M's lab to get my
Yes,
secret
I'm
killer
I'm in the
pen.
know of the know, and I need
Yeah.
access. This
I
is
can't
just to
even
prove
buy
you're you.
tickets to a concert anymore
Yeah.
without giving them an iris scan.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
it goes off the rails. They're intruding into people's private world and
Mhm.
private life
Yeah.
just so they know everything that you do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think it's Larry Ellison that said he wants to know what you whisper.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
That's like he's
Yeah.
like a sociopath. Why does he need to know that? It's like
Hmm.
these guys are like gigantic stalkers. They want to know everything about everyone all the time. And part of the reason for that is because they want every dime you have.
Yeah.
They want all your money.
Everything's in the data, honey. Yeah, I know.
It
I
is
know.
for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Real ID and SAVE Act. I know that's been back and forth with Congress members dramatizing everything about it. But at the end of the day, it's biometrics. It's going to screw us, and we're not ready for it. We don't understand it. And so they made the SAVE Act out to be something that will save us. So yeah, our conservative base is like, oh, we got to get this SAVE Act through. And it's ridiculous because there's biometrics in that. And it is amazing how they sell it to us. They might as well just name every bill apple pie, because that's pretty much how they serve it up to us and get us to want to do it. But that Real ID is coming, and we better be ready for it. I mean, even the airlines are changing this November. You have to have more criteria to fly this November, going over to any European country. There's lots of countries involved, but they've already set up the apparatus, and we knew this was going to be changing, and it is. Unfortunately, it's like flying is going to become something that is going to be harder to do if you're not part of the club and don't buy into all their biometrics.
Well, yeah. We'll have to talk more about that, and what do we do about that? I do not honestly believe that there's going to be a door open that will provide 100% resistance. It's just there's too many things in our world now that we simply can't function in the world.
Right.
I mean, even if you say, I'm just going to go out on the land and buy, my 150 acres, and I'm going to homestead it, and we're not ever going to go to town, and we're going to grow everything ourselves. You're still can't.
You're still on Google Earth, and they still know you're
right.
there, and it is very, very difficult to do it. There are things I think we can do.
There are
systems that we can set
up. I
up.
think it's healthy for us to do those things,
right? But it is going to be hard
to just say I will never ever do this is kind of getting to be absurd. The new regulations coming with cars that are going to be sold starting next year, that are going to have surveillance technology built into the car and a kill switch.
Yeah.
If they think you are drunk while you're driving, they can kill your engine.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I don't want drunk drivers on the road.
Yep. Bills.
But
we've always had this. Since cars were invented, we have had this problem, and they're going to make that problem though out to be the catalyst. So they'll take a problem that's been there for the ages, and they'll make it into the catalyst. They're so good at it. They're so good at lying. The government, they're so good at it. It's amazing.
Well, the thing that I think is hard for most of us to kind of wrap our minds around is that the government is not our friend.
Never has been.
We want to believe that. We want to believe that they represent us, but they don't. And the sooner we kind of see that and have that in our head, the better we will be able to cope with it.
Well, and we can't believe everything we see when the news, the serious news, mainstream news, there's such jokes in my state, but they put out this picture of the rabid bat, and it reminds me of the picture of the kid with the shrunken head. Wasn't that Ebola?
Oh, I don't know.
It was one of those.
Maybe.
It was one of those, and it was, here is the kid with the shrunken head, over and over and over again. It was the only picture they could show, but the kid actually had a deformity. It was, I don't mean to laugh, but it was like we all believed that was the disease of the day, and that it was all going to get us.
Was that Zika?
Was it Zika? Yeah, it was probably Zika.
I think it was Zika.
And I remember getting yelled at when I didn't take Zika. I didn't take it to heart and really get people to fear Zika, but I pushed a lot of holes through Zika when it appeared, and that Zika virus. But remember, the only picture they could ever show was the kid with the shrunken head. So we can't believe everything we see either. There's just so much of that, and we have to identify all the ways in which we're being tracked. That's better use of your time than ever believing a mainstream news story, because they're going to use footage. They're going to use stock footage of the one same photo, just like they did the rabid bat, just like this guy. They're going to use the same thing over and over and over again. And we have to be smart enough to bypass that and to just really focus on all the ways in which they are tracking, because all the other stuff's a distraction. Right? They're lies and they're distractions to what's actually going on. If you think about it, Melissa, when was the last time you heard any congressman or any senator talk about NSA spying and biometrics and how this is all going through and hurting us, and how everything that they implemented in 2020, not one congressman and not one senator and not one president talked about the NSA spying going in with the different street lamps, all the different new street lamps on the freeways in major cities like Las Vegas, which is close to me, all the different places, all the NSA spying that was going in, all the hotels that put in the scanning when you walk through the doors of the hotels, so much apparatus went up in 2020. Not one person has even talked about it or even tried to stop it.
Well, I want to shift the conversation
Okay.
here for just a minute,
Sure.
because I did a little experiment today.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of fun.
Okay.
So I asked one of the AI bots out there. This was the question that I started with. Give me a timeline for the next 3 years and tell me what I need to do to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fascinating. I had a little conversation with the AI about how to be prepared. So here's some of what the AI was telling me. Here's what they said to be ready for. And I think this is really interesting.
Okay.
That AI becomes embedded everywhere. It will be in your workplace. It will be in healthcare. It will be in education. It will be in customer service. It will be in finance.
Yeah.
And I think that's accurate. The next thing that was talking about, white collar jobs will begin shifting, not disappearing, and it won't happen overnight, but certain tasks will start to become AI driven, which I mean, we're seeing that as well.
Right.
Information overload and misinformation on the increase.
Okay.
So and I think those three things are very much.
Yes. Like what I was talking about, they'll show you all the
it is.
fear pictures and get you to believe something that isn't true.
So we went on in my conversation to talk about what patterns should I be looking for. So here are some of those, and I think these are also really interesting, and they're good reminders. For one, it happens gradually, then suddenly.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it says
Yeah.
for a while nothing seems different.
Mm-hmm.
Then within a very short window, everything will feel like it moved all at once.
Oh, that's so true. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
So
Okay.
it says, what do I do about that? He said,
Mhm.
so the AI said, the pattern is people underestimate change early in the game and then they overreact later. And I
Oh,
think, by the way, that the people who are engineering us into this hyper surveilled world know that.
Yeah, for sure.
They know we're not going to do anything about it when it first begins,
Mhm.
and then there's going to be hysteria later. Okay, so what do we do about that? You act when it feels optional, not when it feels forced.
Right.
Had we known that during COVID, think of the grief we could have saved.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it. The next thing it was talking about was things will have an uneven impact.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will see huge opportunity. Other people are going to feel like the world is just closing in on top of them. So
Yeah.
the pattern is it's not good times or bad times. It's like what Charles Dickens said, right? They were the best of times. They were the worst of times. We have to know that they were the best and the worst. And so just realize, ask yourself when these things start coming at you, is this good or bad? And how can I position myself to make the most of the situation?
Right.
Position yourself
Mm-hmm.
well. The next one is networks compound faster than effort alone. How many times have we talked about that, Kate? Oh my gosh.
So many.
Things flow through relationships. So invest in the people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in building relationships, happy, positive relationships with people, not just when you need something from them, but all the time, because you're building your network of people.
Yeah.
Let's see. Some other things that it was talking about is that small advantages compound fast.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've positioned yourself well to deal with some of these things, sometimes small tweaks will have huge payoff later. Oh, this next one is really important.
Mhm.
Information always gets louder, not clearer. Think about
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Well,
How, that we are surrounded in this super information rich environment,
mhm.
and it doesn't ever get any more clear. It just gets louder and louder and louder. And the
Right.
responsibilities that fall upon us get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, I also ask, so what am I supposed to do about all this stuff? So wait, I got to get back here, and I'm looking at the notes it sent me, because it sent me all these great notes.
Okay.
It says, so the first one, I think this is fast.
Where'd you go?
AI, mind
Oh,
you.
okay.
It says our spirituality
Mhm.
is core beliefs and values are the thing that will get you through it when things get loud.
Right.
AI told me to be
Wait, I
Isn't that
can't hear you.
fascinating?
Oh, you cut out. AI taught you to
Oh.
what?
Yeah, AI told me that I need to be a spiritual person, that my
Ah.
core values and beliefs, my spirituality will be the thing that I stand on when things get too loud.
Of course, because the only thing I can rely on is the spirit of God saying this is true and this isn't true. And boy, that's always worked for me. So yeah, I get that for sure.
And they were talking about staying grounded in reality.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your head spin out of control.
Mhm.
Are these bats things that I have in my house right now?
No, and trust me, they're not coming anywhere near. Yeah, it's
So
yeah.
if there's a problem
Mhm,
out there and it's not in your immediate worldview, let it go. It's not your problem to fix. You can't fix that.
I can't imagine how many bat stories, like rabid bat stories, there actually has been compared to the people actually encountering a rabid bat. So I can't imagine for the last 40 years how bamboozled we've been on this. But
Well, the rest of this stuff
okay.
that AI is telling me to do,
Mhm.
like build real world resilience, get yourself in shape, learn
Yes.
to eat better, learn how to cook for yourself, all the stuff
Yes.
that we have talked about forever. Take your health seriously, learn how to get better rest, blah, blah, blah. On your finances,
Don't eat sushi in California. There was
reduce your
mine.
debt
Mhm.
and be flexible with your finances. Have multiple ways that you can position yourself. Have a savings that can get you through a tough time if that
Right.
comes.
Right.
Limit your information intake.
I
AI
wish.
is
I
telling me
wish.
to do this.
I wish I could.
Oh yeah. It's a fascinating. What it says not to do, it says do not go all in on these big collapse scenarios. Don't take that bait because it's just ridiculous. Don't assume that there is some hidden force behind everything that is driving the world. Now,
Mhm.
I would say in my own personal worldview, I do believe that ultimately there are evil forces driving the world, but I can't entirely change that either. So it's not very healthy to dwell on that. Instead, the way you fight evil is to be good yourself.
Yeah.
Don't look for the darkness and live there. Turn up your own light.
I kind of figure when things are really real and you kind of see it and you can't unsee it, that it's, that's that spirit of God kicking in, and it kind of helps you decipher what is true and what isn't. And don't worry about the other garbage. Like, stick to those things when the spirit has to actually really kind of get a hold of you and go, this is true, this is not true, and by the way, you'll always know it's truth because you can't unsee it. Then, that's when I don't pay attention to everything. Otherwise I would drive myself insane. I really look for those things where something isn't right. And I keep being pulled back to a certain topic or a certain thing that I need to invest my energy into, because all the headlines, there's so much crap in the headlines that you would be in the weeds forever trying to figure it out. So just stick to, the better you live and the better person you are, I think the more you're enticed to be able to get to that spirit where you can feel what's true and what's not. So,
well, I think this last phrase from the AI was really, really useful.
Yeah.
It says, this is the advice from AI about how to cope with the next 3 years. Instead of saying, what if everything is controlled and falling apart? How about you say this? This is what it recommends.
Okay.
Things are going to be messy and uneven.
Yep.
How do I stay steady? How do I stay useful? How do I stay adaptable no matter what happens?
Oh, that's a great comment. I like it.
And I'm like, oh. So, and this brings me to another thing. I think AI is a reality. We need to know, I think, now I can't do much about Sam Altman and what he's doing with his AI, but I can sure that the AI tools that we have, I think we don't need to be afraid of them. They're like any other technology. There's good and bad to be had there. So learn how to make AI your ally in improving your life, in making your life better, in making yourself more adaptable, in seeing around the corner, because AI can, in some ways, see around corners that we can't see around.
Right.
So I actually ask it, like, could you build me a 30-day plan? What I should do? It's a 90-day plan, excuse me. So it tells me what I can do for the next 90 days.
Yes.
To be better. And it's like hardcore, like, find two things that you're currently paying for that you can eliminate from your budget. So there's real world advice there that will be helpful to us.
Yes.
So it's a much more, I hate to say, enlightened way to deal with AI, because I just don't think that some of this we're going to be able to avoid.
Well, it's a good point. It's a really good point.
And so make peace with what you can and figure out how to use it to your advantage. As a human being, God gave you a brain, and God gave you the ability to use tools at your disposal. And this is a pretty powerful tool for our own improvement.
I get it. Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah.
I don't love AI. I really don't. But we're going to have to do something to cope in the world that's coming.
Yeah.
So let's use the tools that they're giving us to do that with.
I'm with you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, as always.
Seriously, thank you. Yes, I am very much a believer in that. Holy cow. And do what you can. So LB says internet connection and cell phone. Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, there will be a time, I think, when we get locked out of internet because you have to be one of the club to use it. And sadly, but what are we going to do about it is really the question. I mean, what are we going to do about that? So I think,
let me tell you one of the things I'm doing much more often now.
Yes.
Like, how about we get our information at the public library?
Well, I mean, do they still have them?
There's a world of information to be had for free at your public library, and you can go and check out books.
Okay. Yeah.
All the time.
I'm
reading a book about Vikings right now. So let's embrace the world of information in a different way.
Okay.
And some of the books, let's put those books in our children's hands too. Let's teach them how to learn without the internet.
Right.
And you know what? People my age, that's what we did. So we're in a great place to teach up and coming generations. How did we do it?
True. That's true. That is true. Yeah. And learn all you can. Learn everything you can about health and about how to make things and how they created systems. I know we've done shows on how they created systems, how they had special words that they used and created systems to defy whatever was happening in that particular moment. And there's lots of things that we can do with our time right now in setting up those systems. It doesn't mean you have to live in a world of fear of what's coming. I just mean being smart about it actually gives you a level of control that's a little easier to help you deal with it. So,
Well, I'm going to make a really weird comment now.
okay.
And if you recall, a while back, I read a book about left brain and right brain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the world that's coming is going to be very left brained. It's going to be
Yeah.
a very
Right.
disassembled.
Yeah.
We're going to look at every individual part.
Mm-hmm.
But understand, like the thing that AI is not, it's not right brain. It doesn't see the world in a holistic and healthy way.
Right.
So we need to be those right brain people. We
Yeah.
need to be the people that see relationships, all
Yeah.
the things, creativity, all the beautiful things that
Yeah.
are humane in us. We need to be pulling from that energy much more because we're going to be swimming in this left brain world. And left brain is not very kind.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Yeah.
It's
That's
very
true.
judgmental and very harsh.
Yeah.
So we need to kind of go to that other side
Uh-huh.
that is holistic,
Mm-hmm.
that sees other people as more than the sum of their parts. Because what's coming is only going to see the parts.
That is so true. That is so true. Yes, I'm with you on that one. All right. I might have to cut today's show short. I am feeling so nauseous right now, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm on camera, so it makes it even more difficult.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at
No,
you.
I know, but it is kind of funny because it's just, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what to say, guys. I will be back tomorrow. I wanted to be here today because I didn't want to go so many days without doing a show, but I'm just not. So thank you for coming in today, Melissa, to do this. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. I
I'll-
love it. I do.
Thank you.
I just love it.
Thank you. I really appreciate the info. Thank you. And I'll see if Susan can maybe come in tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I feel so bad. I really, really feel bad. So look, number one, don't fear the bats. From the bat stories going out from public health departments, if there's anything that you should have walked away with in 2020 is that your health departments are just, I can't say what I want to say, but I will say that they lie to you all the time and they don't care. And I don't have respect for the people that work there. Sorry. The health departments have spun so many lies that I get nauseous thinking about that whole entire department. And the government uses the health department whenever they want to send out a scare. It's just like part of the government. So don't believe those stories. And also with the shooting, the fakeroo, somebody can't get that close to the president and the vice president and everyone else, Pete Hegseth and everyone else that was in there at the media party. They can't get in there. They can't do it. It would be virtually impossible. If I tried to get in there, I couldn't do it. I mean, give me a break. So don't believe everything you're seeing. There was a reason they did it. And whether it was to create more agenda for what's being built. And that's what I'll talk about tomorrow is what I think is being built. And it isn't probably what you're thinking about. Like it might not be something that you're thinking about. Anyway, I think there's more to it. And I might not know the answer, but I will bring up some solid points. And I wish I could do another hour of this today, but I don't feel well. So I'm going to check out today and I really apologize for that. And I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to do longer. I'll also see if Greg can join me as well, because I don't think I'll be able to do a whole hour tomorrow based on how I feel right now, but I will try. And Greg, NSA guy, hopefully. So what can come in as well. So anyway, I told you he'd be back in a few weeks and hopefully I can do that. Be faithful, be fearless. By the way, go get the cancer book, the Disney book. Go get all of the ebooks that are up. There are 2 new ones that are going to be hitting really soon. Make sure and purchase those. It helps me stay on the air, but it's also me publishing research that I do. Instead of just doing the show, this is a great place. But that cancer ebook on how to fight cancer without chemo is an amazing read, and I'm getting such great feedback on it, and I really appreciate it. Go to katetalks.myshopify.com, katetalks.myshopify.com. By the way, this is when MyPillow does their big blowout sale. You might want to take advantage of that. They do kind of a Mother's Day, Memorial Day, kind of big May sale. Go to mypillow.com and use the code word Kate. And then also the cancer drug GCMAF is on the website, katedalleyradio.com. Go get that. Have that, store that, just little hints and things that you should be doing. But apologize for not feeling as well. I'll apologize to Susan next. And I really appreciate you guys. So be faithful, be fearless. See you back here tomorrow.